everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chanel's Reality. Before we jump into doing anything, please hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And then also hit the notification button so that whenever I upload videos, especially if I'm doing a live or something like that, then you'll be notified about it. Okay? Appreciate your support. And it's honestly, to do that, it's a free and easy way to support the channel because YouTube uses like algorithms, I believe, to kind of detect. Well, basically, like they track everything else in our lives. They track what type of videos that you click on, and so if my video is a similar one, then it might, populate and cause you to come to my page. That's how you would be supporting me. Tonight we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Um, this is season 13, episode 12. Listen. I'm gonna try to be on my best behavior, but listen, I'm over it. Okay, let's see. Can y'all see? Over it with so many of these people. So the episode starts out with Sutton at her home. Yeah, I scratched my skin right here, so now it's dark, so I'm trying to cover it up. Anyway, so Sutton's at her home, and Sutton is outside in her front driveway cutting flowers. It is a very wealthy person's thing to do. No, because everybody cuts flowers if they have them. But I just thought it was just so cute because Sutton ain't got nothing to do. And Kyle comes over, and they're gonna, I guess, discuss what happened at the homeless not toothless gathering that I think was the night before. So Kyle's like, I don't want to cut flowers, so I'm gonna go inside. And so they go inside, and then Kyle, I think she said something about she either is hungry or thirsty or something like that. And then Sutton decides to say, oh yeah, just go in my refrigerator or whatever, get what you want. And then Kyle opens the refrigerator and she says, oh, you don't have any food, or she makes some sort of gesture about or comment about how Sutton doesn't have food. To me, this is very significant, and this is why. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I know, well, we all know Kyle is she's a snake, for lack of a better word. She is. This is another snake moment for Kyle. So what is happening here, previous episodes, when they had that dinner at Kyle's house, and Kyle was mad. Listen, I don't even think Kyle is mad at anyone. I think Kyle wants people. I think this whole season, Kyle has wanted to say and talk about her alleged separation from Mauricio. But she needs to create an enemy to do that. And I feel like she wants Sutton to be the one that she can blame for, oh my God, all of these people keep asking me about it. And she wants to be able to get to the reunion and say Sutton is such a bad person that she came and she said my husband was cheating on me, or she asked me was my husband cheating on me. And that's not a friend. Kyle wants to be able to say that because she knows she hasn't been a friend. Kyle isn't anyone's friend. I'm just gonna be 100 with you. She's no one's friend. Kyle is the biggest opportunist in the world, especially as it relates to it's sort of like she's a social climber. So she feels like, I was born in Beverly Hills and my sister's Kathy Hilton and things like that. So she feels like she only wants to, speak with or be around, excuse me one second, people that are on her level, right? And so what she does is, because Cal does this, and she's been doing this since season 1, she has her friends, they have a conversation about something that Kyle wants out there. So she's like a mini producer. Kyle wants to talk about it, and she'll talk about it with her friends, and then she'll have her friends bring it up. So that when they bring it up, Kyle can kind of be like, oh yeah, we discussed it, but it's not on Kyle. So when they get to the reunion, or when they're like clawing back at someone and have an argument, they're never having that argument with Kyle. They're having it with whoever Kyle sent on their mission. And this season, it's ANNIEMARIE. ANNIEMARIE. I don't know exactly how I say her name. So this season is ANNIEMARIE. So for me, since they at that dinner they had at Kyle's house, Kyle decided to basically, in my opinion, say or insinuate that her friend Sutton doesn't eat. So she didn't say Sutton has an eating disorder, but she's saying it without saying it. It's a direct shot. Okay? And I think Sutton maybe has woken up. If she hasn't, Sutton, come to the front. If you one more season, sis, one more season, if you come on this show and say Kyle is your friend, I have to unfriend you, unlike you. I cannot. That lady is a snake. How many? But I'm kind of like, how much evidence do you need? It's kind of how we all felt about Lisa Rinna. It was just like, why do you keep thinking Lisa Rinna is your friend? She keeps showing you she's not. Stop it. But I do think Sutton is lonely, probably on some level. And she's weird and awkward. And she probably just doesn't have a lot of friends. And so she wants to be accepted. Real talk, Sutton is a very wealthy pick-me, if we're being honest. We are. We're being honest on this show. This is Chanel's reality, and we always are going to be honest on this show. If you're just not joining, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you'll know when I upload videos or if I'm going live or something like that. I really would appreciate it. It's a free way to, you know, support my channel and other people's channels as well. But this is season 13, episode 12. That we're speaking about. Okay, so back to Kyle being a snake. So when Kyle decided to call out her friend Sutton at that dinner, and she was just like, oh, you don't eat, you push your food around the plate. I'm the type of friend that if I was ever your friend, whatever your secrets are or whatever the things that maybe you felt humiliated about or, you know, you didn't feel so great about weren't your best, I don't care how bad we fall out. I am not going to then out you in front of a whole friend group of people that may or may not even know you. And I certainly wouldn't do it in front of people that know you. But I wouldn't do it at all because I'm not a snake. But Kyle, again, remember I said she wants to have a problem. She wants to have a problem with Sutton. She's been baiting Sutton all season long. All season long she's been, what are you trying to say? Just ask me a question. Just ask me. I'm here. I'll tell you anything you want to hear. Tell me. Ask me. Stop beating around the bush. This has been Kyle this entire season with Sutton. Because, help me understand, last time I checked, Dorit asked Kyle very similar questions. Did she not? She asked her in that car when Kyle was taking Dorit to her prostitution whore anniversary dinner with PK, that whole pretty woman thing. She asked her then, you know, what's been going on with you and Mauricio? I haven't seen you. I'm looking on Instagram. It seems like something's going on. So please explain to me why Sutton can't ask the same question and get the same response. Because she didn't yell at Dorit. She didn't ask her, why are you asking me that? What are you trying to say? She did it only to Sutton because, like I said, she wants to have a problem with Sutton. She wants to. She does. She wants to have a problem with Sutton. She's creating a problem that does not exist. But here's the thing. Sutton is smarter than a fifth grader. Let's be very clear. She is. So well, I think this was last season at Harry's birthday dinner when Lisa Rinna was trying to basically say that Sutton invited her and Harry to some gala, I think for Elton John or something. And Sutton decided at the last minute not to pay, and so then Lisa had to do all this other stuff. And at some point, Diana, who we know, we'll leave her over there, basically is saying that, you know, this is embarrassing and this is things that should never be talked about. And so then Lisa said she was a cockroach, so it is what it is. That's what she said. She said, I'm hard to kill because I'm a cockroach. I got 22 lives. This is Lisa. But she didn't like really that Diana was calling her out and saying, you know, you guys shouldn't, this is just like classless and all this stuff. So then here comes Lisa Rinna. Yeah, you know, Sutton, you shouldn't be doing that. You know, Sutton, so she's trying to make Sutton feel bad. And Lisa says something to the effect of like, you know that this is wrong. And so she was basically like stabbing at Sutton. And Sutton was like, I also know what slander is. I was like, whoa! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. I don't have to use the bazooka. I'm just gonna use this little laser right here. Boop. Okay? Sutton is no dummy. She understands the assignment. That's why Sutton, she knows what Kyle is doing. That's why Sutton has not once said, is Mauricio cheating on you? Kyle keeps having to say it. Are you guys trying to say that Mauricio's cheating on me or my husband's cheating on me? That's what Kyle keeps saying. But Sutton hasn't said it one time out of her mouth. Not once. Excuse me, guys, 1 second. Again, they think Sutton is dumb because she's from the South. Sutton is far from that. Okay? She's not dumb. Now, she might be very naive in terms of, you know, who and what. She can't, in my opinion, very clearly or immediately decide or detect who is a real friend and who isn't. And Sutton, to me, she kind of reminds me of myself in terms of, like, she has a really big heart. So I'm like that. You know, I just want to help people. And you know, I'm just a nice person. I just am. Now, I'm a Leo, so of course I would have that attitude. But I am. I'm a social worker and a therapist. And so, obviously, I'm a bleeding heart liberal. So, there's that. But Sutton is like that. She's very much like me. So, I relate to her on that. It's just, I'm not socially awkward or anything like that. But she kind of wants to be a part, you know, she wants to be a part of it all, you know. I'm not mad at her. But I just do want you to realize when people, it shouldn't take you 3 years to realize that Kyle is not your friend. Same thing with Lisa Rinna. So, the argument that they were having at Kyle's dinner, to me, didn't justify Kyle basically saying that Sutton has an eating disorder in front of everyone. Now, here's the thing that I don't know if everybody caught it, but this is the thing. So, from the beginning of the season, Kyle has been pushing her and Dorit that Sutton is a drunk. Okay? Sutton is a drunk who is also probably has an eating disorder. She doesn't eat. Maybe she's anorexic. That, to me, is what Sutton, not Sutton. 1 second, guys. I just decided I need to put on some, you know, a little lip gloss. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is just going out to the World Wide Web. And so sis should have a little bit of gloss on her lips. That's it. That's all. You know. And I'm not a makeup artist. Or I don't even wear makeup, really. This is probably the most that I wear, honestly. Okay. So, I 100% don't believe that Kyle, whatever they were arguing about, it didn't need to be said. She didn't need to say that. But Kyle's been, like I said, this whole season, her and Dorit has been saying that they've been running this Sutton is a drunk. So since the Sutton is a drunk thing, I think, didn't stick, now they're on the Sutton has an eating disorder type thing. And it's just, it's cruel. Listen, for all of y'all, Dorit, Kyle, everybody else at Bravo who's watching this, please understand that the reason most people, I believe, tune in to reality TV or started watching reality TV as it relates to people who are wealthy, like the Kardashians or the Housewives, for example. I think most of us kind of want to just have like a little peek. Most of us regular people who don't get paid $600,000 to $700,000 or $1 million a year just want a little peek in there. It's like, you know, we all can go to Saks and, you know, get a Chanel bag here and there, or Louis Vuitton or Red Bottoms or whatever. But most of us don't have access to a private jet, you know, and can go fly somewhere at a drop of a hat. And I think it's fascinating to see how they live. It's fascinating to see their big grand homes and, you know, 3-4 homes across the world and yachts and things like that, and the fancy cars they drive. It's entertaining, at least for me, and I think most of the reality universe where wealth is involved. That's what we signed up for. We did not sign up for people to say things like what Kyle is doing right now, which is insinuating that Sutton has an eating disorder and she's a drunk. She did the same thing to her own sister, Kim. And so that's why I say, again, another evidence that, you know, she's a snake. She is who she is. So when she gets to Sutton's home and she's saying, oh, there's no food in your refrigerator, again, it's a nod to, it's a dog whistle to reinforce this narrative that Sutton doesn't eat and she has an eating disorder. So Sutton and Kyle talk a little bit about, you know, the things that happened at the at Kyle's, I think it was at Kyle's life, or let me see, celebration of life event. And Sutton feels like she needs an apology from ANNIEMARIE. Listen, I would pay ANNIEMARIE dust. Like, I just would be like, girl, stop it. You're 8.5. You didn't tell the whole world that your husband doesn't think you're a 10. Let's be clear. If he doesn't think you're a 10, that means something's missing, sis. Come to the front, ANNIEMARIE. That means something is missing. And if something is missing, people will go and get it with or without your permission. So please stop calling yourself an 8.5 and acting like it's a badge of honor, because I'm going to tell you right now, it isn't. You look crazy. You know how you sat on that couch at the celebration of life event and you were being all pretentious and, you know, I asked these people at, you know, my other doctors and anesthesiologists at my hospital, and you know, none of them said, they said, you know, if you could say that to a layman, but if you said that to a doctor or someone in healthcare, you're just going to sound stupid. Girl, you set your own self up for all of the memes that you're going to get or all of the things that are going to happen that where you're being called stupid. And it's unfortunate because I don't think you're stupid, but I do think you are a pick-me, and Kyle saw you from 10 miles away. And because you have that credibility of being in healthcare and you're supposedly an anesthesiologist or nurse anesthetist or whatever, Kyle felt like if I give this message that Sutton has this small esophagus to ANNIEMARIE, who's in healthcare, then again, that's Kyle sending her minions on their way to do her dirty work. If I give this information to ANNIEMARIE, it's going to come from a credible source. So therefore, when I say it again and again, or when I tell all my minions to say it again, all the drones on Beverly Hills, it'll be credible, you know, because ANNIEMARIE said it. And ANNIEMARIE literally drank all the Kool-Aid. Just saying. She drank all the Kool-Aid because sis went running to go come for Sutton, which is so unprofessional, but we'll get into that another day. I think Kyle says that she does not want to, no, Sutton says she's not gonna, she wants to uninvite ANNIEMARIE to Barcelona or somewhere like that. And Kyle's like, you shouldn't do that. You should still invite her on the trip. And Sutton's like, oh, she owes me an apology. Girl, I don't need your apology. I don't need your compliment either. Let's be very clear. I will say this one last thing about Kyle. Kyle, to me, never misses an opportunity to try to humiliate or embarrass Sutton. And she's done this with other people as well. To me, with Sutton, it's just, it seems kind of like Kyle is a hammerhead shark. And Dorit's a shark too. Let's just say they're all sharks. And then you have Sutton, who is literally like a baby dolphin. She just is getting torn from piece to piece. But don't let Sutton fool you, because I see Sutton coming out this. She's like, oh no, we're not gonna. I'm like, okay, Sutton, girl, calm down. Sutton's like, she's sitting already. So let's see what else happens. I think Sutton calls Garcelle. Hold on, let's see. Oh yeah, I think, okay, so at this event, our ANNIEMARIE is going around telling everybody that will listen that Sutton's a liar and she's claiming she has a small esophagus. And it's like, girl, why does this matter to you? Because even Garcelle's like, why do you care? Like, to me, Garcelle was giving her an out to just kind of be like, she could have just said, you know, it was just concerning to me because of X, Y, and Z, but I'm just, you know, curious about it. But this is the thing. You could be curious about it, ANNIEMARIE, but you don't need to be curious about someone else's health condition with every person you know. And even people you don't know at this party. Like, what are you doing? This is what I'm saying when I say this lady is not smarter than a 5th grader. Like, she has the book sense, but the common sense is missing. It's why are you doing this? You can't see that you're being set up to deliver information and push a narrative that's only going to fall back on you. Because even in the after show thing that they do, Kyle is saying, I didn't know ANNIEMARIE was still talking about. Kyle, stop. You absolutely knew. You gave this lady this information. Stop it. Kyle's like, and now, if you watch some other videos that ANNIEMARIE has been on YouTube, she's saying, well, Kyle's the one that started it. I'm just saying. That's what ANNIEMARIE has said at some point in a video that I watched, and I was just like, okay, ANNIEMARIE, put her out there. So I think at the reunion, ANNIEMARIE's going to really probably come for Kyle. right? Um, so then ANNIEMARIE and Crystal and Garcelle are sitting there discussing the esophagus gate or whatever, for lack of a better word. And I feel like I don't get the whole ANNIEMARIE thing. I'm like, girl, what does this do for your life to try to make someone, like, it's almost like she wants to humiliate her and embarrass her and make her look like a liar and an idiot. And then Sutton is clocking it. Sutton's like, you're not my doctor. My doctor said I could. So, girl, I don't, and I think the rest of the world that watches this is none of us get it. And here's the thing, like, I really was rooting for ANNIEMARIE. It's like, you want to root for your people. Like, I love all people, but I'm just saying, it's sort of like if you go to a business meeting with 90% men and then there's like 3 women there, you're going to automatically almost always like go to your people. In this point, in that kind of meeting, your people would be women. So you're going to kind of now, gravitate to that. So I understand it, but it's just like, why are you coming? We wanted you to come and get Garcelle's back and on some level kind of, like, level the playing field or make it fair, because Garcelle is one person against like 6 women, one person of color. She has Crystal there, but Crystal has a different. Crystal, she has valid points about racism and those types of things, but it just is different, unfortunately. But this lady is just going on and on and on, basically saying that Sutton's a liar. So the next day, so then there's this little scene where Crystal and her brother are having a conversation, and basically her brother, I think he has gone back to China or something, and he's basically saying, I have to become an adult now. Me and my girlfriend talked, and we've discussed that I want to remain here in China for a little bit. And it isn't because, I want to do this out of spite to you and mom. He was just basically saying I'm a grown person and I don't want to answer to y'all, and I shouldn't. And I ain't mad at that. I didn't really watch that part because I don't know what it is about Crystal's family life, or whenever she's talking to, it's like, it's entertaining. If you watch like the Real Housewives of Potomac or like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Mama Joyce and the other lady, Candace's mom, and the other people in her family, they bring something, right? So you're just kind of like laughing at Mama Joyce and being like, oh my God, I can't believe she's asking this again or saying this crazy stuff again about her daughter and her daughter's husband. But it's entertaining. The Candy Coated Clique, they all entertaining. Every single one of them. I don't necessarily like all of them, but they're all entertaining. They bring something to the show. I don't feel the same way about Crystal. Like, I think I like Crystal in general, even though she's kind of elitist. She is, let's be very clear. From her first season, she's certainly elitist. But she realized too, like herself, she's outnumbered. But I like Crystal. I just want her to just have events at her house and not really have much conversation about her brother and his, because it's just not entertaining. It's not that, she wants to show her real life, and she should. It's just not entertaining, Crystal. So probably want to do something other than that. So anyways, Crystal decides to FaceTime Garcelle, and they have this discussion about ANNIEMARIE, and Crystal is basically shooting shots at ANNIEMARIE, and I think, she should be, because ANNIEMARIE sat on the couch and said, she basically lied, and the shady producers of it all, but she sat on that couch and was trying to educate Crystal on the healthcare procedures and the protocols and whatnot regarding someone's esophagus and how that works and this, that, and third. And again, she has all this credibility because she's in healthcare. Girl, stop. So Crystal decides to go and Google nurse anesthetist, because from Crystal states that when she first met ANNIEMARIE, that ANNIEMARIE said that she was an anesthesiologist, which is a doctor. And now she's saying, this is Crystal's words, now she's saying that ANNIEMARIE is claiming she's a nurse anesthetist or something like that, which are completely different from what Crystal said. I don't know why it really matters, but I think Crystal wants to prove the point of you're a liar. Just like how ANNIEMARIE wanted to prove the point that Sutton's a liar. I think that's what Crystal's doing. It's messy, but I'm here for it, because it's like, girl, don't do that. Don't talk down to me, and don't really be what you say you are. Because you're saying, allegedly, you're a doctor, and then I found out that you're not. Yeah, we're going in. We are. I understand the assignment. We're going in. So try me not. Okay? Let's do that. Um, so they talk about it, and then Garcelle's like, she's not a doctor? She's not, like, it's funny. Let's see. Um, so I'll just talk a little bit about, why it's annoying to me that ANNIEMARIE is, it's like, to me, kind of harassing Sutton. It's like, okay, so I work in healthcare too, with people who have intellectual disabilities or people who have mental illness or, all kinds of things. So I work with people like that all the time. And as their therapist or whoever I am that day, the social worker, whatever it is, it isn't my job to tell them that they're wrong, because in the social work field we believe that everybody has the right to self-determine. So that means someone could walk in my office and say that she needs help with, she needs food, money for food, let's just say, and she has $300, but she decided that she wanted to go get her a new bundle from the beauty supply store. Bundle is just like hair for people that might not know. And she's using her $300 to go get her bundles, but she needs that money for her light bill, food, whatever it is. A normal person who isn't a social worker or hasn't been in that field would respond very differently, right? I can think whatever I want to think in my mind, but my response has to be that of a social worker, right? So most people will be like, she's crazy. You need to tell her, she's making a bad decision. Well, how dare you, use money that you could, pay your light bill or your rent or buy food for hair? How dare you, especially if you have children? That's what I think most people would do. They would be super judgmental because logically it doesn't make sense, right? As a social worker, that's not my job to tell you what you're doing is stupid, or it's not very smart, or you're not thinking about your kids, or whatever it is, the judgments that people have. My job is to say, okay, so what plan do you have to get the money that you're going to need to pay your rent or the food or whatever the reason is that they came there, and then I'm going to help you get there, right? So I'm going to maybe give you some resources, but I'm not here to judge how you run your life. That's on you. I'm here to support and guide, right? Unless there's something like, SI or, SH, or, where you are talking about harming yourself or others, or you're being harmed or exploited, things like that. Then I would not take exactly what you say and let you self-determine, because I'm a mandated reporter, so I have to report things like that. So for me with ANNIEMARIE, it's just like, girl, what are you doing? The first thing they teach you about in healthcare field is confidentiality. Be clear. So why do you think that this lady is supposed to be talking to you or justifying something health-wise is going on in her life? Why would you even want to talk to her about that on film? As a doctor, you say. Why would you want to do that? It's giving, I'm not smarter than the fifth grader. It would have made more sense. ANNIEMARIE, come to the front. So I'm going to give you some advice for the future, okay? Come to the front, paging ANNIEMARIE. It would have made sense had you and Sutton been sitting at the table, or you were at her home or on a trip, whatever it is. And Sutton was talking about, her esophagus being narrow, so on and so forth. As a medical professional, then you could maybe say, because she's talking to you about it, or even if you're a part of the conversation, she's talking to you about her struggles or something like that, then yeah, you step in and maybe, give her some advice if she asks, or suggestions if she asks, right? It makes you look like such a, which Crystal's going to say, I think, on the next episode. I'm not sure. I think it's the next episode. But it just makes you seem very cold and callous, and that's not what you're supposed to be. You're in healthcare, you're supposed to be here to help them, encourage them, guide them, right? Not to try to publicly humiliate them. It's not a good look. It comes across as very elitist, very, I'm better than you, I'm more intelligent than you because I have this degree. Listen, sis, I got 3 degrees. Be very clear. I'm not running around America talking about, oh, you're this and you're that, and I'm a board certified. I'm not running around America doing that. If someone asks me, I'll tell them. but I don't need to weaponize it. I don't need to say to everybody that's doing something, I'm the expert. That's basically what old girl is saying. And currently she's getting drugged on Twitter. So maybe, she'll realize next time, stop it. And I'm going to talk briefly about, this is a sidebar, about this girl, ANNIEMARIE, and her rating system with her husband. I'm like, girl, stop it. Like, knock it off. So here's the thing. To be fair, I think ANNIEMARIE's logic and what, her acceptance of her husband saying that, she's 8.5 or whatever the case may be. I think the logic that she's implemented is, I just want a person, and I can appreciate a person who will be honest despite how it might make me feel, right? I don't like those type of people. I'm not wired like that, okay? I want you to tell me I'm fabulous 24/7, since 365. Let's be very clear. And although I have a very extroverted personality, I get my feelings hurt too. But understand, I walk around like a 10 is talking, okay? Please pay attention. Come to the front. A 10 is talking. Her, she's a 10, okay? Now, I ain't gonna be a 10 to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be a 10 to that man who wants, some skinny girl who's a size 4 or something like that. Or the people in the world who are colorists and want someone, they only cute if they're like right close to white. I'm not gonna be a 10 to those people, but I'm a 10 to me. Be clear. And to my husband, so I just don't understand why she felt so strongly to say that. I do understand her saying, or using the logic that this man is just being honest with me. But here's the thing, ANNIEMARIE, come to the front. If he's saying that you're not a 10, that you're 8.5, he's gonna try to go get that 1.5 or whatever it is elsewhere. Or he might just decide that he wants to do that. I won't say that he absolutely will, but I'm just saying, if there's something lacking, sometimes people want to, fill it up. Just saying. So, she said something about, oh, I went and told Marcellus or whatever, and he was like, why would you? He basically was like, no, I called you a 9.5. So he's trying to fix it because he knows he looks like a straight asshole, and he knows that his wife looks dumb. He knows it feels like her saying that and being so, committed to saying this is right makes him look like an asshole and makes her look dumb. It does. That's the way it comes across. Like, girl, where's your self-esteem? Is it in the toilet? Because here's the thing. I think ANNIEMARIE is pretty in that outfit where it's just like a confessional with the pink and her hair is. I think she looks beautiful in that. Some of the other scenes, she don't look so great. She kind of looks like, her head is kind of like shaped like that alien character, or no, it's a Predator character. No shade, ANNIEMARIE, because I do think everybody has their moments, right? So this isn't a great moment for me, but I still think I'm fly. Okay, please understand. Don't get it twisted. She is everything to me. Just saying. And the more you try to defend that, the more of low self-esteem, because it comes across as he's convinced you that it's good to say that I'm an 8.5. He's convinced you of that. And he's also convinced you that you should be proud of it. I can't. What are we doing? Girl, listen. It's just not something to be. It's just, here's the thing. Just let it go. Let it go, Elsa. Because the more you talk about it, the more crazy it sounds. So that's all I want to say about the 8.5 thing. One second, guys. Let me just look at my notes. Oh, sorry. Oh, the last thing I will say about ANNIEMARIE, her 8.5, she did some sort of YouTube interview with these two guys. And in that interview, they talked to her about the 8.5 situation. And she's been very defensive, like she has been this whole time. And then she says, well, what do you guys think? So basically, she's telling the guys that she's on this podcast or YouTube video with to rate her. That's another problem. Why are you okay with your husband rating you? Girl, that is, you're not an object, right? We rate eggs. Are they grade A or grade D? We rate steak. Is it this level or this level? What are you talking about? You're not a piece of meat. You're a human being. You should not be cool with your husband rating you out loud. And then if he's going to rate you, not giving you your whole 10 stars, girl. But anyway, so she's on this show She asked the guys to rate her because in her mind, she truly believes that her husband saying that she's an 8.5 across the board is something to like brag about. She really believes that in her heart, and it's just like, oh my god, what are you doing? I can't. So you guys should go watch the video. So in the video, she asked the guys, she tells these two white guys, because there are two white guys that she's doing this interview with, to rate her. She's like, what do you guys, what would your rating be? And both of them say a 10. And she literally is like shocked, like, why would you? And I'm just like, again, it further perpetuates the narrative that you have low self-esteem, girl, and you don't have a reason to. You exude, or somewhat, Black excellence. You're a whole nurse anesthetist or anesthesiologist or whatever it is. You live in Beverly Hills. You're educated. You know, these are things that are great that everybody's not going to ever be able to do in their life. So, girl, I don't know. I just found it very telling that she almost wanted to tell those guys, you guys are lying on me. She didn't believe it. It's crazy to me. It just feels like Stockholm syndrome to me. It's just like her captor has her captive, and she listens. She's learning to love her. It's crazy. Okay. So let's see what else happens. In this particular episode, give me 1 second, guys. I had a whole lot of notes. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. It's some more things I want to be on here. Wow, I had a whole lot of notes. Okay. Where is the end? Oh, it's because I talked a lot about. Well, I wrote a lot about ANNIEMARIE because she was just really on my nerves. So I believe on this episode, Kyle and Mauricio are riding in the car to the homeless, not toothless event. And it's awkward. So here's the thing. This is my perspective with like Kyle and Mauricio. I think every woman, and this is me speaking in absolutes because it's just my opinion, but I do think every woman who gets married or chooses to get married really wants it to be till death do us part, but they also want the outside world to think that, you know, their marriage is great, their husband treats them, you know, like a queen, you know, they love their kids, they're, you know, they're just, it's everybody knows it's not perfect, but they want to make it appear as perfect as possible. So Kyle and, in my opinion, Mauricio have perfected this art. Literally, from season 1, I've been watching from season 1 to season 13. And until this season, so seasons 1 through 12, there is not one episode where, or even like the after show or anything, where the camera shows Kyle getting angry at Mauricio or vice versa. Like there's zero footage of that. How is that possible? No matter who you are, even if you're not married, we all get into it with somebody, okay? Nobody's perfect, right? So in every relationship you have on earth, there's going to be something that maybe is a contentious conversation or something you truly disagree on or something like that. With them, you don't see a rolling of an eye. You don't see like this heavy expression of like, you don't see any of that. There is none of that whatsoever. Sorry, y'all, my husband's in the kitchen running water in the middle of the video, but it's what it is. So it's just very, I'm like, what does Kyle have over these producers or NBC or Bravo or Truly Original that the only thing they capture of Kyle and her husband and her family are good moments? So if you watch season 1 through 6 or 7 or whatever, you just really, all the way until this season, you really do think that Kyle has this really kind of perfect life. You know, she grew up in Beverly Hills. She's sisters with a Hilton. Her nieces are Hiltons. She seems to be wealthy. Her husband, you know, kind of started from the bottom and now he's really wealthy and, you know, has a lot going on. It seems like a perfect life. That's what they've been able to do. So for me, I'm like, how is that possible for nobody to ever have a bad emotional reaction to their spouse? It's just not logical. So this season, what Kyle's agenda has been, in my opinion, is to kind of get ahead. So every single episode where there is Kyle and Mauricio, they make sure to capture the tension. They make sure to capture how annoyed Kyle is. They make sure to capture things that, you know, give the audience this idea that either they have already divorced or they have already separated. It's giving, we hate each other, but we still live together. I won't say hate. Hate is a very strong word. It's giving Kyle's over it. You know, there's been rumors for years about Mauricio cheating. I never believed it. I still don't necessarily believe it. And here's why. Not because I don't think men cheat. I absolutely think men cheat. But this is why I don't believe it. How is it possible? We live in a global world, right? I can talk to somebody in China on FaceTime, right? I don't have to go, you know, get on an airplane or anything like that to conduct business anymore because we live in a global world. So I say that to say this. How is it possible that in the era of social media, how is there no picture, no video, no nothing anywhere? How is that possible? Now, I believe 100% that there are a whole bunch of Instagram thoughts and all kinds of women out there who chase this clout. So it's like, I want to be seen next to this person. I'll be in their light, then maybe I can get what they have. Or, you know, they don't care that Kyle's married. They don't care. They send ass shots and everything in between. Just saying. So I certainly think even if Mauricio is truly committed to his wife, which I do think, I have a hard time believing that this man is cheating and there's no evidence anywhere. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So that's their only reason that I don't believe it. But this season, TMZ and everybody else, they have been on his, okay? They got all kinds of photos of him like holding hands with his dance partner from Dancing with the Stars. It's just getting sloppy. And that's also too why I believe that although the season is just showing us the breakdown of Kyle and Mauricio's marriage, it clearly is already broken because how dare you go hold hands, have dinner with your Dance with the Stars dance partner? No. That to me, even if you say, okay, there's emotional cheating going on, why are you holding this lady's hand? She ain't your wife. What are you doing? Why are y'all going, like, so I think that they've already separated. That's just my opinion, because why do you feel so free to do that? Because if the rumors have been true all these years and you've been stepping out on or cheating on your wife all these years, why wouldn't you have had this slip up years ago? Why is that? Why is there not a picture, a photo, a snapshot of some text message? There's nothing. But suddenly you're cool with walking around holding this lady's hands and she's not your wife. It's so crystal clear now. And as much as I say Kyle is a snake, and she is, because the proof is in the pudding, I still hate for her that this is happening. Because again, I think as women, especially women that, you know, aspire to marriage or whatever, want to have a family, you just do want to keep your family together. And you don't want the world talking about, you know, your downfall or whatever the case may be. It's humiliating. It just is. Because it's one thing that your husband cheated on you in the city that you live in with some lady, right? That's just maybe you, him, her, maybe your bestie, somebody like this, or maybe 10 people might know. This is 5 million viewers that tune into Beverly Hills every week that knows. And not only that, it's not only the people in the Bravoverse, because remember I said TMZ broke a story and has been. People have been breaking. So if you don't even watch Beverly Hills, it's a part of the pop culture news. So it's a problem. unfortunately. And so I feel sad for her regarding that, because who wants that? But then I snap myself back to reality and realize I'm Diana, I'm Wonder Woman, and I'm not with the bullshit, okay? Not at all. The reason that I have to almost take back what I feel for her, the empathy, is because Kyle has said on this show and cared not a few seasons ago when Teddy was accusing, or Brandy and Teddy were accusing Denise Richards of having a sex whatever with Brandy. Denise, she didn't say it the whole season, but she was saying, I am married. How dare you? Please do not say that I was cheating on my husband, because just because it's a woman doesn't mean it's not cheating, okay? So the way the husband or the spouse looks at it is, if you're having sex with someone else or you're allowing someone else to do things to you, that's cheating. Let's be very clear. And Denise's point was, please stop putting out this narrative. It's not true. And Kyle and all her minions, Lisa Rinna, what's other, like Teddy, all of them, they just would not give this lady. They were relentless for the entire season, claiming that this lady is cheating on her husband, and it's just not cool. It's not. But now Kyle wants to be out up in arms because people are talking about her marriage. It's just like, how dare you? It's all of the audacities that Kyle has, and all of the double standards, and the there's another word I want to look. I'll think of it. I'll say it later. But anyways, Kyle just has a whole lot of audacities. She's hypocritical. That's the word that I was looking for. Because you were over here doing the most. Well, I just wish, we all know that she cheated. I just wish Denise would just say it. It's just like, girl, stop. You had no problem talking about this lady for what, 4 or 5 months, however long y'all shoot. You did that to her. There's some other people. Oh, you talked about Taylor Armstrong's marriage, Camille Grammer's marriage. Like, stop it. This is why it's like hard for me to have compassion for Kyle and what she's going through, because girl, you had no problem publicly humiliating these other people. So it's like, why is it cool for you to do it? But then listen, this is what I know about reality TV. The way Bravo has it set up, those tables are going to turn, and eventually it's going to be your turn to have to prove yourself, because people will judge you within an inch of your life for something that may not ever even be true. It may have no validity whatsoever, but people will believe a lie way before they believe the truth. It just is what it is. And so the tables eventually are going to turn. What are you going to do when it turns? So now it's turned on Kyle. She feels like, I think she's sort of kind of ahead of it on some level, but she's defensive as hell. She is. She's defensive every time anyone asks her anything about it. She's very, very defensive. I think that's the end of this recap for Beverly Hills. So what I want to do now, guys, is I want you guys to get down in the comments, and I want us to continue this conversation in the comments. What do you guys think about Kyle's behavior this season? Do you think it's hypocritical, or do you think it's on par? What do you think about Sutton being accused of being a drunk by her bestie Kyle, or by her friend, because Kyle ain't that lady friend, and also being called, basically calling her a liar, and saying that, or implying that she has a eating disorder. That's so damaging. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's fine to say some salacious things because you know that's what you signed up for. But when you start putting allegations out there that someone's mentally unstable, or someone has a drinking problem, a drug problem, someone is has an eating disorder, these type of things, they roll on into eternity. And they can be problematic because, again, people don't really care if it's true. Be very clear. People just want to be able to talk about it. So I don't have a problem with us talking about regular everyday things. But when you start talking about someone's, a sexual deviant, or has committed some sort of SA, or any type of forced physical situation with someone else, it's damaging to their character, to who they are, and now it calls everything into question. Their job might find out, their family could find out, and it's just not. Then now I have to be on the defense about something when it's completely false. It's just not cool. So yeah, guys, that's my take on the recap. Like I said, get down in the comments and let's just talk about it. And when I have time, I will definitely have a conversation with you guys about it in the comments. But I do want to know your thoughts. Also, talk to me about Anne-Marie. Do you think she's a good fit for this show? Do you think she's thirsty? Do you think she's doing the most, or do you think she's well within her rights to come on the show and be kind of aggressive towards Sutton's esophagus? It's just like, girl, what is wrong with you? But again, remember to don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so the next time I upload videos or I'm going live, you'll get a notification for it. So until next time, you guys have a great rest of your evening, day, morning, or weekend. Bye, guys.